Hi there, Derek here from Pacific Coast Auto, and today we're looking at this 1990 Nissan Fairlady Z, also known as the 300ZX in the USA. This one is exporting to the USA. It's got the 3-liter VG30 engine. This one here is a non-turbo version. You can also get them in the twin turbo. This one is a non-turbo version. Overall condition of this car is actually pretty good. This is an auction grade 3, but let me explain. An auction grade 3 can either mean bad condition vehicle or a car that's been in an accident that has been repaired, but they didn't want to call it an R grade for whatever reason. And so this one has been in an accident, but otherwise it's a very good condition car, which might be a grade 3.5, otherwise maybe a 4. It also got a D grade interior, which I don't think is justified. I think it's certainly a C grade. So mechanically the car looks to be pretty good. We'll take a look at the engine, outside, interior, and walk around to the car. This one is in Japan, it's already been purchased, and we'll go to the USA this year. The coolant looks good and the oil looks good. Without the turbos, this would be a more reliable engine, because whenever heat is added to an engine, reliability goes down. The VG engine is a fairly good engine. They can be a little bit hard to work on, and that's part of the reason why the Fairlady never got as popular as the Skyline did, because the Skyline's engine is very simple to work on in terms of layout inside the engine bay. Here you're pretty cramped inside here, so access to a lot of parts is a little bit difficult. Or so I've heard. I've never actually worked on one myself. In fact, this is only the second one that we've exported because it's not a fantastically popular car for export, although that may change now that they're legal for import into the US. So we're going to close the hood here. One more small look at the car, and then we're going to go to the auction sheet. So, auction inspection sheet seemed to be pretty accurate on this one. This is 1990 December Fairlady Z, 3-liter engine, grade 3 with an interior D. 137,311 kilometers on it, and original silver, no sales points, no notes. And so that's a little bit uncommon. Usually they'll tell you what it has. Like for example, this one has lowered suspension and Bilstein wheels, which albeit are not a very valuable wheel because they're only a 16 and they're kind of an older style, but something that they didn't mention on there. It also has the T-bar roof. And these are glass panels, and so you can take off that and have a complete glass top if you want. Okay, so let's take a look at the auction sheet. First, this diagram, XX means replaced, and so the door and the back fender on the other side were replaced, and that's why you got a grade 3. If you take a look at it, things look like they line up fairly well on this side, although you do have a little bit of cloudy paint on the door. Now, you can probably polish that back up, but I'm not sure. You'd want to talk to a professional about that. Okay, right side of the car gets W3 and the hood gets W3. W3 is very hit and miss. It can be very bad paint or it can be so-so paint. When the car's dirty, it's a little bit tricky to tell exactly how bad it is, but to me, this doesn't look any worse than a W2 would look. And so repainted door and repainted hood. The car's dirty, I'm sorry. My shadow's in the video, sorry about that. Okay, rock chip on the windshield. Rock chips are always tiny, and we can never find them. Here's one. They're usually less than a millimeter. Okay, aftermarket steering wheel. Aftermarket driver's seat. Actually, driver and passenger seat are matching Recaros, which is kind of nice, because a lot of times when someone gets an aftermarket seat, it's to replace a worn-out driver's seat. This one is both, so that's cool, although it is ripped. Interior wear and dirty. Right rear fender has been replaced. Underside has surface rust. Surface rust is not really a problem, but if it says corrosion on here, then that is a problem. Aftermarket exhaust with a question mark, and it is true, it is aftermarket exhaust. Left and right fender brackets are bent. But it looks like your lineup of the fender is pretty good. So not something that I'm terribly worried about. Okay. door mirrors scratched and wheels scratched, various repairs with paint on the car. Interior liner is peeling or coming up. That's actually in the roof, there is some. I'll show you that in a sec. Various scratches, dents, and repairs, and paint cracks in the back bumper. So let's look at those paint cracks on the back bumper. It is one of the, I guess, bigger problems with the car. This area here has kind of wrinkly and cracky paint. Okay, you got this stone guard style paint on the bottom section of the car. And that would be from factory. Okay, the dual exhaust pipes gives the car a cool look. I always thought that this is one of the few cars that looks better without a spoiler. This one's got a small lip spoiler. I'm not sure how this one compares to the US market version of the car though. Got some fade here and also on the front ones. And this panel here is faded, but that's easy to remove and repaint if you want. Got a little bit of fade on the door mirror, not so much on this one. Let me show you on the other side. Here. And the gasket for the headlights on both sides is coming up. And I believe that it has probably shrunk and needs to be replaced, but I don't know for sure. You may be able to make that more pliable with some sort of substance. Okay, so I haven't shown you what the vehicle looks like in total. Fairlady is a lot sleeker looking than the Skyline. I kind of like how the front nose, like the vehicle is very wide and very low, but the front nose has been pinched in. It makes the headlights actually really close together, if you take a look. It's got projector headlights. The glass T-bar is really, T-bar roof is really cool because if you want to have a glass sunroof you can, or you can put the cards in. It is super dirty, so sorry about that. And you got a little bit of paint peeling here. When this came out, this was the fastest Japanese produced car that was available in terms of top speed. At least the twin turbo version was. 300ZX. Okay, the tires are Yokohama DNA S drive. Sporty tire, but they don't have very much tread left on them, and so probably need to be replaced. And with some better wheels. I mean, I do like these wheels. I think that other wheels would be more suitable for this car though. Okay, now it does have a dent on this underside of the sill here. The auction sheet called this a U2, so let me just show you. It's right down here. Okay, now let's take a look inside. The inside of this car is really unique and really neat. So let me show you what we got. First off, seatbelts go right on the door here, and the B-pillar continues up the door, and that's structural as well. And so pretty neat on that. Otherwise, a standard looking door. Interior, like the NSX, has a very steep rake in the console. So it gives the car kind of a unique feel. There's a seat cover on the driver's side Recaro seat, which is absolutely terrible. But there is a rip underneath, so he's probably trying to hide that. Passenger side Recaro is in good shape, and the nice thing about these is you can swap them left and right if you want to. Back seats have aftermarket speakers in them, and the seat has been folded down. Now I'm not too sure if you could get this in 2-seater and 4-seater in the US. Here in Japan you could, I believe. Okay, gonna go check over to the other side. Show you that. Yuck. Seat rip here, foam's coming out. Probably can pinch that back together and sew it. You would still see a mark, but aftermarket seats always rip there because that's where you rub when you're trying to get out. They also do here too, and this one's got a little bit of a separation in the foam underneath. Okay, aftermarket Momo steering wheel, feels nice. Power steering in this car doesn't feel very good, and so something to check into. Cruise control, headlights, gauges, very standard fare. Auto air conditioning right here. Kind of cool. AC works. Aftermarket stereo, shifter, and everything feels good. Small crack in the ashtray here with a small cigarette burn right in front of it. Electric folding mirrors work. Here's the roof. See, the roof liner is a little bit bunchy here, but on the other side of the center pillar there's a part that's separated. I'll go over to the other side and show you, and then show you the trunk. See, up here comes separated a little bit, and that's because this part here has warped from the heat. No sign of any leaking inside, like mold smell or something, and so very good on that. And I haven't removed these because I don't really have the time, and it won't show you very much more of the car if I did remove them. Oh, and peeling liner here, I just noticed this. See there, and it's a little bit coming off back there. The trunk is very huge. It's weird how big that opens. Now, it's not very deep. You don't get a lot of room in here, but just I'm talking about the trunk door. It feels strangely large. I'm gonna just remove this and roll that in. And you can see here, really easy to put stuff in, but you don't get a lot of room because of rear fuel tank would be in there, and there's a spare tire in there as well. Kind of the same thing as the JZA80 Supra. Has the same really shallow trunk. Okay, so this is going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed our first Fairlady in probably about 5 years, actually. And so thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions you can post them in the comments section, and I do answer them some of the time depending on how busy I am. So thanks a lot for watching, and have a nice day.